I mean, Coach Harbaugh said you guys know who's up when it's your turn, but just not being the guy out there every single time, what is your thought process as the game's going on?
Yeah, you got to be ready at all times, and you just got to go out there and just make every single kick, make the most of every opportunity you have, and just go out there when they tell you to go out there.
So you have not been told you're the number one guy? You're just still in the rotation?
Yeah, we're still competing every single time, every day at practice. So not sure, but it's coach's decision. So just take it day by day.
Is Quinn still injured?
I'm not sure how Quinn's feeling, but he's been kicking very well at practice still. So I don't think it's really affecting him that much.
Have you ever been a part of a rotation like this before?
I have not. In high school, I was always the guy, so never really grew up with competition. So this has been like a first for me, and it's been really well. It's definitely helped me and Quinn get better as kickers.
You guys feel extra pressure then, if to not miss a kick when you're out there?
There's a little bit more pressure, but your mindset every single time should be to just go out there and make every single kick. It shouldn't be worrying about competitions or anything. You just want to go out there and help the team.
I think Chris Partridge, one of the other coaches, said that in the summer. You guys are split by literally one kick. What was that experience like being decided by the slimmest of margins?
Yeah, so we both kicked extremely well, and it obviously went through the season. We were still competing, and so that was interesting. We both kicked really well, and well, we came up with the rotation at the beginning of the year, and we just kept competing every day.
And what was it like in fall camp, I guess? Was there a rotation back then, or how did that system work?
Yeah, in fall camp we were splitting reps evenly, taking it day by day, and we were both kicking pretty well, and just went into the season. We were both good enough to keep playing.
How competitive are you guys? And you get along, or you hate each other?
Yeah, we get along really well, actually. Quinn's been really great to me, and he's been like a role model since he's been through it all, and I'm really appreciative to have him as the older guy of the group. He shows me the ropes, and he's really supportive.
How hard is it kicking a wet ball?
It's definitely tough, especially when your cleats weigh about 3 pounds. But we got through it, made all of our kicks, so that's good.
Were you a little surprised when Harbaugh sent you out there for that long kick at Penn State?
I wasn't surprised, actually. I wanted that one really bad. In high
Get
school,
all of it, or
no? I sadly didn't. I got a little under it, but in high school I made some long kicks like that, so thought I could do it, and I'm really appreciative that they sent me out there and believed in me.
How's that conversation go? Does he ask you if you want to go kick it, or did he just sent you out there? Did you have to like sell yourself to go out there, or what?
So they just kind of asked like the target line, and I said I felt comfortable from the ball being on the 40-yard line and in, and it was exactly on the 40-yard line.
Did you kick any from that distance in warm-ups?
I think I may have hit one in warm-ups, but not too many that game because there wasn't as much field space with all the people standing in the middle.
What's the longest one you've made in normal conditions without like a wind?
In practice?
Yeah, or just in your career, I guess.
In practice, 67 yards, and in a game, 58 yards in high school.
What's your mentality on kickoffs? I noticed looking up kind of the numbers, you guys are doing as good as anybody in the country in limiting returns. I mean, what are you trying to do when you kick the ball off every time?
Ideally, we're trying to tackle them inside the 25. We don't want touchbacks. We want to just try and stuff them at the 15-yard line to give the defense a good amount of space to work with.
So that's a specific, kicking it high and short type of thing for you? I mean, I'm
Yes.
sure you can put it in the end zone.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll have me put it in the end zone, depending on the situation, but most of the time we want it as high and short as possible.
Is your approach to kickoffs any different now that they have that new rule that if you fair catch a kickoff, it's automatically a touchback?
We've been thinking about maybe changing it up a little bit, but for right now we're still going to try and kick it as high and to the goal line as possible.
Does it depend on the returners, like when you guys played KJ Hamler, voice back, stuff like that?
Yeah, we believe in our kickoff coverage team. It doesn't matter who's returning. We know that we'll get them down inside the 25, so just got to put it really high for the coverage guys.
How often do you visualize getting the game-winning kick in any game? Do you sit there and think about that?
That's something that you think about every night, your whole life. You grow up wanting that, so haven't had a chance to do it yet, but hopefully I will.
Do you have to like visualize like that as a kicker?
Yes, it really helps a lot to visualize. So when you're out there, you've already thought through it, and it's not nerve-wracking, and you can just go out there and you've visualized yourself doing it a million times.
Do you golf at all?
Yes, a little bit. Not very good.
What's your pre-kick routine like? Do you want people to stay away from you, or are you like, what's your?
I kind of like staying on my own. I like having my teammates come up, and they're always really supportive, and they'll tell me, just go out there and do your thing. And so I really appreciate them coming over, but I like to usually kind of stay within my own space.
Is it difficult to get in a routine when you're alternating with another kicker?
It's definitely more interesting, but we got used to it, and it was going pretty well, so we stuck with it.
What does Quinn do well that you'd like to do maybe more like he does and vice versa? Maybe you can't speak for Quinn, but.
Yeah, Quinn's been a really good leader of the group, and he's kind of taken over the leadership role as one of the older guys, and so he's really supportive of all the younger kids, and he helps us out a lot with technique, and I'd like to eventually take over that role.
Are you a technician?
Somewhat, but not as much as Quinn. Quinn's the technician of the group.
With the game-winning kicks, how do you guys simulate those? I mean, you try it in practice, stuff like that?
Yeah, sometimes we'll just try it in practice, and most of the time I'll just simulate it in my head when I'm just bored at home. Just laying in bed right before you go to sleep, you just kind of picture it in your mind, and it's a good way to go to bed.
What does the rest of the team do when you do it in practice?
So sometimes they'll give you a little crowd noise, make it like a real game simulation, and that really helps a lot to kind of put you in that situation to be ready for it in a game.
Did it ever ice you? Take a timeout before?
Not in practice, but that's something that you got to be ready for always in a game.
Does icing work?
I'm not totally sure on that, but it might. But you got to go out there every single time and approach it the same way that you're going to make the kick. You can't let like any of that stuff bother you.
What do you think about when you go out there for a kick? I mean, do you do the same thing? You have a routine every time?
Make it. That's about it.
Did you ever have a game winner in high school even? Or you've never had one?
Never. Never had a chance. Yep.
Time for a few more for Jake.